How Bizarre is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, we suggest you turn this wacky shit straight off.
Yeah. So last time I talked to you guys, fucking, I was in the hospital. I'm waiting to get in, and I can't remember if it was for the coughing up the blood or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They never even fucking seen me, dude. They seen me, they looked at me, asked me a few questions, and they, well, go sit back in the lobby. We'll get you back in here again, as fast as we could get you in here. And it was like 6 hours later. I'm like, dude, I can't be around. I gotta go. I'm not gonna sit here all day, fucking, and left. But yeah, I literally had a garbage pail fucking full of blood I coughed up.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty, and well, it wouldn't go away. Is the reason why I went in. So the second time that was the first time. The second time they didn't do much of anything. No, that was the second time. The first time I went in is when we were supposed to cast, and I was like, dudes, I'm not gonna make it because I'm still sitting here. And that's the one that we were talking about, my asthma.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, I do have asthma. I've had it all my life.
I thought you did, yeah.
But it's never affected me in the sense, because I was a smoker too. I was freaking out. I was having fucking like some serious fucking issues, man. It's not that hard. I mean, Chris might relate a little bit easier than you can, but like, you ever tried putting on a really, really like tight pair of fucking jeans?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, Chris?
I do. It doesn't feel great.
And you're not feeling good about it, and you're like,
Wait,
oh, God.
Why would Chris understand more than me?
Because my weight fluctuates. Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty skinny, dude.
Oh.
You've been skinny all your life.
Oh,
But
well,
you can't breathe, and all of a sudden, you can't breathe and shit. And I fucking freaked out. I grabbed my mobile air, and jarred it off into the bathroom to open up a window to fucking get my head out and fucking get some cold air to snap out of it, because it was like total panic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, this ain't good. This ain't good at all. And so I went to the
sucks.
Well, I went to the hospital, and I walked all the way from the parking lot through, and it started kicking in again. And then I was like, fuck, great. And he goes, well, we'll get you in one of these back rooms. And he goes, it's only like 100 feet. Do you need your oxygen? I'm like, I don't know. We'll find out. And I start walking. I have it. I don't have it on, but I have it with me. And we start walking, and sure as shit, right before we get to the bed, it happens again. And so what this is, and I can tell you exactly what it is. I don't know why the doctors are being so fucking stupid about it. It's the whole water weight. I got like so much water weight on me right now from the edema that it goes up your body. It starts at your feet. You start getting cankles, like fucking,
Yeah.
and then, your calves get bigger, and then it goes to your knees and then your thighs. But then they also start hardening up. And so, it layers. It's like I'm like a 7-layer dip. And, so it's like, oh, and so, the Crivler Dippler, double flipper, flipper. So anyway, it's like up to I want to say my at least my love handles, because they're really dense. My stomach's really dense. And what scares the shit out of me, and this is what scares the fuck out of me, and why I went to the hospital in the first place, is that it's end-stage renal failure. That's what happens, is your organs fail when you die. That's what it is. And so if your liver hardens up, it's a sponge. It's the way it's supposed to be. It's just kind of spongy, and it usually like sucks in water, gives you, all that stuff. There is a point where your liver could harden up. Is it sepsis of the liver or something like that? And that'll kill you. You're done.
Yeah.
what they have to do is they just put needles in you and just try to pump as much water out of it as they can. And you really got to watch like sodium and salt and stuff like that, which I'm pretty good at for the most part, but I am fucking really bad at it too.
It's in everything.
You got to dial that shit in. And I remember when you were sick with COVID, I was like, "Oh, I'll make my buddy Lyle some broth or some soup." And you're like, "Dude, I can't eat anything. You got to dial this shit in like a scientist making."
Yeah, you can't have liquids.
Nuclear weapons. Like you can't just take food that someone gave you. You gotta. Yeah.
Well, it'll just add up on it. Yeah, no, that's no big deal. But that's what that's my go-to. I'd fucking go to soup, man. If I'm sick or something, I'm chicken noodle.
Yeah,
chicken noodle soup, man.
You literally can't do all the things that they tell you to do when you get sick, which is drink plenty of fluids and yeah.
Yeah, even a Gatorade or something like that. I can't even have that.
No.
Right now, what is it? Wendy's. They got this awesome fucking like chicken fucking Parmesan sandwich.
Yeah, sounds like you're keeping that sodium in check, buddy.
Yeah. No, it's fucking delicious. But
how many milligrams could there possibly be?
Yeah. How many fucking pounds of salt's in there?
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, but at the same time, you got to live a little. But Jesus, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe one of them Sammys. It's got to be something to push you over one of these days. And would the Wendy's sandwich have been worth it, Lyle? Maybe it would. I don't know. It's been so long since I've had real food like that, like just real junk food, like just a big fucking bite of, 8,000 milligrams of sode. Just let it all just trickle down my fucking messy face. Eat like a little kid, you know.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, maybe that would be worth it. I don't know. Easy for me to say.
Well, what was worse is yesterday. I was sitting there and I'm in the shower and I'm fucking just going, oh man, I'm in pain because I'm swole, I'm like, okay. Remember when I was telling you guys a story about like I was visiting my friend and he had his little dog. It's actually his wife, his like ex-wife's little dog. He was watching, and he's just a little shit. His name's Bear, and he's a little white dog,
of course. And
he runs up behind me and he nips at my calf with his paw, and he just leaves a couple run down, couple nails down the backside of my calf. I'm like, oh, you little shit, but you're cute as fuck, so I'll let you get away with it.
You live today.
And yeah, and then like 5 minutes later, I feel it down there, and it's wet. I'm like going, oh man, I hope I'm not bleeding all over the place.
Hate to put you down today, Bear.
Well, I look down, and I'm not bleeding. But I'm bleeding water.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gotta be a fucking trip.
Well, see what edema.
That's called sweat, Lyle.
No.
It was the tears of the dog because he knew he was gonna die.
You look at it and you can see the scratches, and it's water coming out of these scratches.
Just straight up clear.
Just clear water, and it's what it is that edema. So
much water saturating the tissues that just leaks out.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was going to say. There was I got a couple open wounds that are just from compression. You know what I mean? From having so much pressure.
Yeah.
On the inside, trying to get out, that it's weeping like fucking tears out of my legs.
Your legs is literally tearsing.
My legs are
and I were just trying to get to the joke, trying to find any comedic relief.
Right. That's where I was going. The tearsing joke.
Oh, sorry. And in the end, we stole Lyle his own comedic relief.
Damn
you! What we do, step on each other's toes here. Jesus Christ, man.
But the falling in the shower was the worst because I was like, this feels really, really good in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice hot shower, and I just remember. What it was, I think I fell asleep. I went backwards and I grabbed the rung. There's like typically like a soap rung, in most showers. And I grabbed that fucker as I fell. And I luckily, I think I slowed it down enough of the momentum that I didn't, fucking tear my asshole open on the fucking
Jesus
bottom part of the fucking shower head. But I did break it with my buns. And my butt cheek hit like the little lever that you lift up.
Sure. Yeah, man.
You got a main level or lever that puts out water, and then you lift the thing that activates the shower. Well, I hit that with my fucking Superman.
Dude, you Could you imagine just getting hooked on that? Like,
Oh,
fuck.
Yeah, I know somebody that happened to.
Oh no.
I just kept thinking you falling on
sewed up.
falling on your back. Wait.
Shower.
I regret
Shower.
interrupting
What?
that. Take me back
Back it up.
just a bit.
Oh, you want to hear that story?
We'll make it quick because we got other things to get onto.
Oh.
But
That's not that long of a story. I mean, the
I
guy.
suppose it wouldn't be.
He had bad seizure problems, and he basically would. Yeah, and he used to ride motorbikes and shit. He'd be riding his motorbike around town, have these blackout seizures.
Oh no.
Just crazy shit like that. And so one day, I guess he was a buddy of mine's brother that I worked with. Fell backwards, and that little fucking nubbin thing caught him in the butt, like hole, ripped him wide open, and he had to go to the hospital. And what they had to do to keep him clean, so he didn't get any weird kind of tract infections or anything, they had to sew his butthole shut.
Stop saying this. This isn't real. This is real life.
And then
like Man in the Box, but for his fart box.
No.
It could heal and stitch back together. What in the interim was supposed to happen?
Then he had a colostomy bag that he had to wear.
Temporary.
A little pooper scooper.
I didn't know you could do that.
No.
I thought once you went colostomy, you were colostomy for life.
Nope. They were able to pull the sack out after he was done and pull the stitches, I suppose.
What's going on here?
Butt. Wow.
Unstitch my butt. Make
Say
me go poo
right
again.
That's the worst.
They were fucking great.
Oh.
Well,
good Lord, people go through some things, man.
There's some gratification and some very good, feel good about taking a good poop, and when you're robbed from that.
Well, yeah.
Dude, that's
Clear a path.
You grab the eel. We've talked about it when you were. Look what people are willing to do when they're robbed of their God-given rights to have a clear and open, free path to poop victory. Well, I'm just glad you didn't fall backward and slap yourself with your low-hanging balls there and knock yourself unconscious, because you don't need a concussion on top of all this.
I'm telling you,
about them swing low, sweet chariots.
And that's a lot of the reason why my balls are so big right now. Apparently,
do they fill up with water? Are you squirting water loads?
I haven't tested, but
you gotta
it's a
test
good possibility. I could have a squirt.
I'm not one to tell another dude to jack off, but you got to test them shits.
Right.
That could be that could be, well, I don't know. That could be something that you could turn into some sort of OnlyFans, Lyle.
Right. I'm thinking some tight leather pants and
water goo.
Wow.
Just gonna leave my pile of water goo.
You got yourself a big old water wiener.
Well, fuck.
Your song was better than mine.
Water wiener. The nurse asked me that. She goes, have you have any problems with your scrotum? I'm like,
fine problem,
baby.
What do you mean?
You're like, you tell me. You look down.
And she goes, well, there's instances that when I was in the hospital working there, that people would come in and their sacks would be the size of basketballs.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And shit. Yeah.
I had a buddy in high school who had something like that happen, and it was an emergency.
Well, it was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it was based on edema. It was based on having all those fluids going, because they have to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so they were basically fucking just going into the dude's balls.
Jesus,
that's crazy.
Well, I mean, dude, seriously, mine were about one time. And I only say it one time because I don't know if I jacked and tried to get some out or something. I don't know.
Better.
I did. I did get better, wasn't it? About the size of a fucking softball.
Holy shit, that would be alarming.
Well, it was scary, but it went away, fast.
Yeah.
In a couple days. It was it didn't hang around, for a while.
Pun
I mean,
intended.
try to put those Levi's, those button-up Levi's on when you got
Wouldn't do it.
fucking a baseball
I
nuts.
am definitely, if I wake up with a
Baseball
softball ball, I am calling in pajama day.
Wearing sweatpants, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm wearing now, sweatpants.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Can't wear pants.
Well, fuck. Keep us posted. I feel like I say it. I feel like all I can ever say is, well, shit, man. Keep us posted.
Sucks. I'm sorry, it sucks. Like, fuck it. It just
Yeah.
sucks.
It does
Dude,
suck,
it
and all we can do is watch and hope and pray. And every time you end up in the hospital, Lyle, there's this period where I'm just waiting to hear from you. Like, I just need, even seeing, you got your text messages, thank God. You got them set up so that it acknowledges when you've at least read it. That's been a lifeline to me for a few of these times, because sometimes you just, I understand you're hooked up to shit, you're exhausted, and you just don't even want to talk about it. It's all fair, but sometimes all we can really hope for is just getting signs that you're even alive. Because we do understand. I mean, not like you understand, of course, but
well, my mindset's a little weird when it comes to dialysis and stuff. I don't want to impose on other people there. So I'll just shut my phone on mute and, not even look at it until I get out of there.
Sure.
Just because I don't want to, most people they're sick too,
Yeah.
So I just shut it off, the ringer.
Well, I wish more people had that sort
That's
of
very
courtesy
respectful of you.
Because Jesus Christ, lately this is always a complaint of mine. In light of what Lyle just shared, it's a very, very surface level first world problem, but this notion, like, I'm convinced that text messaging to some degree is ruining us socially, because
always
a lot of people have this expectation, not only that you get right back to them no matter what you're doing, but people also feel like they have the right to just continue their conversations throughout your entire time together, whether you're on a date, whether you're hanging out with someone you haven't seen in a few weeks and you're getting caught up and they just can't stop dicking with their phone, whether they're driving and not being considerate of the lives that they're putting at risk. Yeah, I do wish more people understood that just because it's there doesn't mean you have to do it. But we got sucked
think a
into
lot
this
of people,
thing, and we can't seem to find our way out of it.
I think a lot of people actually, for relationships and stuff like that, I think text messaging is horrible.
Yeah.
Because you get so used to leaning on it, you can't pick up a phone and call somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We really don't talk on the phone. I don't.
And not only that, you take things weird.
Certain things cannot be communicated via text.
Right? It's like, hey, fuck you, buddy. And you're like, wait a minute. Why did you mean? No, I mean, hi, buddy.
Fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you,
It'd be amazing if I just got that from Lyle out of the blue. Fuck you, buddy. I would probably take
Lyle, are you alive? How's the hospital going?
I would probably take that the bad way. Just because you've never done it, like out of the blue. Anyway. Well, shit. Well, we should move on. But yeah, anyway, I mean, I'm not going to go on a whole rant about it. I've said plenty of things about it, but I am working on a little feature in the Comet, and I'm curious how other people feel, because I feel like every time I bring up texting, people just look at me like I'm just this grumpy old get off my lawn boomer, and I'm like, how do you people not see what's happening here, and how do you keep justifying this incredible rude and incredibly selfish thing that he did? I got to be honest, from my perspective, the biggest thing why I despise the people that are just constantly texting and driving for obvious reasons, but even my fucking mom does that. And my mom is,
what?
Like, I told my mom, it's like, you are going to kill somebody. Like, my mom is a pretty decent driver until she starts talking. Like, when I don't remember what was going on. My car was acting. Oh no, it was when my air conditioner died this past summer, and we had like 112 degrees. Unlike right now, we have -6 degrees and a snowstorm.
Can we give a shout out to that guy, because he saved mine too?
Just about to, yeah. Every time I think of it, I will give a shout out to who I now call Saint Michael.
Saint Michael.
who fixed us up and did it at, I would say, I'm just going to call it for free, essentially. You know, he didn't charge for anything really, and he just said, "This is for providing me with years of entertainment." I'm like, God damn it, good dude.
I paid $500, I think, to somebody else twice.
Sure.
To have it fixed, and it never got fixed. And he came over and we shot the shit, had a good time, and fucking bodily boo.
He's a good guy.
Did some magic, and now
then air conditioning, which is magic when you've gone without it for any established amount of time. But for a few days, my mom was going to take care of, or she was like babysitting my niece and nephew because it was summer vacation. So she would take me up to my brother's, and then I would take her car out to Kashmir where I was working. There's just a few days where this was going on. But I learned real quick, as soon as my mom picks me up, it's like, scooch over, I'm driving. Because she does this thing where she cannot tell a story and not have that be some... As I'm talking about this, just came up on the Facebook page for the How Bizarre Show. I recently posted an interview with me and a local dude, a really low-budget local TV show that I go on, or TV station that I go on from time to time. And I made some sort of joke about, we can laugh about how Ron never stops moving his hands. And I don't. When I'm talking right now, I have both of my hands up, a cigar in one, a lighter in the other, ready to rock. So I understand that talking and emoting is a thing, but my mom does it in a way, when she's driving, she just straight up lets off the gas. The steering wheel just kind of does what it wants and starts going, and she's like, "So I told her, if you're gonna say that sort of," and I'm like, "Mom, we're in a different lane now." And so add that to her texting, and I'm like, "Mom, you are going to." I told this to her. It's like, you are literally going to kill somebody one of these fucking days. And she's like, "Oh, don't say that." And I'm like, "Well, don't put the fucking phone down. You're an old woman. You shouldn't be driving like a 16-year-old that just has to text and has to be on TikTok and Facebook and they're
a lot of people don't realize that they've I'm pretty sure they've done studies that like using your phone and trying to text and stuff while you're driving makes you actually a worse driver than somebody who's drunk.
Of course.
I wouldn't doubt that.
When I'm drunk, I'm 10 and 2.
Ain't going to jail tonight.
Every child that could possibly dart in front of them.
5 under the speed limit.
Oh my God. No, I have literally seen her change lanes accidentally. Wow. I'm like, do you realize we're in a different lane now than we were just in?
That's fucking terrifying.
I know. No. And there's like and she would be, my mom is one of the sweetest, most genuinely kind human beings on the planet. I think anyone would be devastated if they accidentally swerved while they're texting and killed somebody. But my mom especially would just be destroyed. Not to mention my mom in prison. I can't lie. It would be a Netflix special that I would watch to see how that all went down for the 3 days that she made it. But it's like, this is a very real fucking thing. Put the fucking phone down. But people just they won't listen. It's there now, so we got to do it. But my biggest. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I could just see the fucking text message between you and your mom where she's like, "Hi, honey, on the way to fucking Dairy Queen. Would you like me to pick you up a Blizzard?" And you're like, "Mom, I told you to stop texting driving." Also, yes, please make it Eminem.
I'll have you know it was your order that killed the child, son.
Yeah.
I texted just fine, but when you sent me that order, I had to look down. But my biggest complaint is honestly...
I could just imagine your mom walking around in orange.
Yeah,
chained up. Going,
she looked
"Hey, any of you guys actually met Martha Stewart?"
Is she still here? I lost track. But my least favorite part about the texting thing in general is the expectation that you get back to me right away, and if you don't, then there's something wrong here, and we got a problem, and they're offended, and this happens almost weekly to me. 99% of my communication. Oh, absolutely. And it's even worse if you have read it. I try to not read a thing until I am ready to respond. And so I end up with just, I never have less than 30 or 40 unread text messages. Facebook could be closer to 100.
Off, right?
Well, I do. Yeah. Well, I just ignore it. I'm good at ignoring it, but what I'm saying is, if sometimes
I mean the red receipts, you can turn that off.
Yeah.
I haven't found a way to do that with. I don't want to be, I understand. I have turned that off on my text messages for sure. But there's all these
like Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that or not. I didn't, and I don't want to be super like weird. I don't want to get too deeply in being like pretending that I didn't see it. But sometimes you see it, or sometimes you want to see it. Sometimes it's something that you're waiting on, something you want to see. That doesn't mean you have the capacity or the time to give a response right then and there. But we have this new expectation, and all this is new, that you have to get on it right away. And that drives me crazy because now we're adding this made-up clock and this made-up pressure on this relationship that doesn't need to be there. And we're hurting our own feelings.
People need to also realize that just because a message says read doesn't mean the person actually read it. It just might mean that their screen is open and on.
I tell people that all the time. Open. I don't think they believe me. I have like 9 screens on at any given time. Yeah. Facebook is my entire life. Love or hate it. That's where I sell 90% of my art. That's where I communicate with 90% of the people I talk to. Friend-wise, certainly the comment. I interview a lot of people over Facebook Messenger.
I have a. There's an app that we use at work a lot for communications, and like it does the same thing, like message read or whatever. But it's like you can literally have that open on your laptop and on your phone, and like not be looking at either of those.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the office or somewhere in your house if you're working from home, and it says you read it, but you really didn't because you're not there.
Yeah. But even if you did, shouldn't we just allow that person the time? And we had this, I suppose, to some degree with voice messaging or voicemail, but it wasn't at this level because didn't you have an understanding when you called somebody back? This sounds like 100 years ago, but when you called somebody and their answering machine, I'm not even talking cell phone, we're going back further. Answering machine picked up and you left a message. You didn't expect that person to get back to you within 15 fucking minutes.
No.
Or even a couple of hours, or even necessarily that day. You'd hope sometimes, but people have lives. They have their own schedule. But now it's just this whole different thing. And I also am so confused how so many people have all the time and the mental capacity in the world to just text all day. Like,
should we give them a sampler back in the day? Hey, fucker, call me back.
Now, see, that would work because
That's
I could
it.
hear the inflection of your voice. And it wouldn't be like, hey, what do you mean by hey, fucker?
Right.
Yeah, and you'd play phone tag sometimes, and then you'd have to wait for them. Oh, the golden days. The golden days of modern communication. But now it's just, I don't know. It's only going to get worse, right? I mean, what's the next level communication thing going to be? Pings happening in your brain? I can't be here for that, man.
I bet you it'll be some kind of thing to do with some kind of eyewear, and everybody will learn how to read eyes.
What did you just look at me?
Yeah. They'll just they'll twerk and do little things.
Twerk.
Do a little twerk.
Do a little dance. Yeah,
I'm actually
What do you mean by that?
I've seen somebody that isn't a great texter, and we live far enough apart where we're not seeing each other like maybe once every 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
But it's tough. So I'm like, fuck. Communicate. We're not on the same. Like I like texting. That's like my primary form. And this person, I mean, they do all right. It causes problems for sure.
Now, what do you mean? Like they don't text enough, or they text too much?
The communication, text is not the best form of communication for them.
Okay.
So sometimes things get misinterpreted, and
It's not for a lot of people.
And that's understandable, right? Like I get it. So I don't know. It's been a struggle though. Like, but when we're together, we don't have any problem. It's just the fucking distance.
See, that's the fucking thing. The technology is setting up an idea of our relationships that aren't necessarily there. And like Lyle said, you can't. So much doesn't translate, and that's why a lot of people fight online that would never fight. If they're standing in a room together, they'd probably be vibing off each other. They might jab each other, but there's some laughs and there's some tones. But online, it's just all war. It's just a fucking battle of words. and looking up facts to pretend that you actually have a fucking clue about geopoliticals. Anywho, rants that I've done 100 times, I suppose. Well, we should get on to some other shit. I did have for the first time in a long time, I prepared. And that's all gone out the window because after 4.5 hours of shoveling snow, I'm like, I don't want to fucking present this thing. And
do you have a snowblower? Could you use one?
You're looking at him.
Santa Claus is
You're
coming
not looking
soon.
at him, but no, I couldn't. I don't know. I mean, if someone was going to give me a snowblower, I will take it because I have a sidewalk. I don't know how well a snowblower does over terrain because I don't have a paved driveway. I've got roots and rocks and divots and mud. So I don't know how well they do. Maybe it's fine.
It'd do fine.
Why? What are you offering?
You
John
could
Mark?
appropriate set them at different levels.
I don't know. Christmas is coming.
I have prayed for just making a friend with someone that has a snowplow because here's the thing. I have half an acre of property. That is not impressive to someone who owns a little plow adapter for their pick-em-up truck. It's like 10 minutes out of their day, maybe. Just shove the bulk of this shit forward. I'll take care of the tedious stuff. That takes me 3 to 4 hours. What they can do. There's some dude, God bless him. I don't know who he is, where he comes from. Maybe he's Michael Landon-style angel. Because he just shows up, and I've actually gotten lazy and leaned on him. I no longer shovel my sidewalk because this guy just shows up and plows the entire, from like 3 blocks down to 2 blocks up. He just plows it. Like that's his. He's got
you have no idea who he is.
I've seen him. I've seen his face, and I tried to run out.
Is he a ghost?
I hope he is, because then he could never die. But he's an old man, so I'm probably going to be fucked when he does die. It's like, well, where's mystery machinery operator?
Where's Mr. Plow?
Yeah,
Mr. Plow.
Call 1-800-Mr. Ghost. You gotta, anywho.
That's the one thing I don't miss fucking doing is shoveling snow.
No, yeah, your apartment living now. You got to do that shit and brush off your car and go. But anyway, in lieu of my soup de jour, which I will save until the next show, I think we're probably going to miss. The reason I wanted to stagger, this is a rare show. I'm going to try to get this up. I'm not even going to promise which day that'll be. We'll see how tonight goes. But I just didn't feel like doing that whole presentation, and I think it's going to require everyone else not bringing something. And it sounds like we got maybe a guest joining us later, and I just wanted to chill and have some drinks and shoot some shit, as they say. But I did have one story and a little game. The story, Chris stopped me if anything in your news quiz has anything to do with parasitic worms.
Nah, go for it.
Well, you're going to regret them words because I'm going to read this straight off of Newsweek. A man suffering from pain and swelling in his genital area. A lot of ball talk tonight, gang.
Oh, no.
Where it starts.
Oh, it gets
Jingle
worse
balls,
and worse. No jingle balls for this poor bastard. In his genital area was found to have parasitic worms swimming around in his scrotum. And doctors managed to catch them on video.
I don't like this.
Now, the video, I didn't bother trying to send it. I mean, if you guys want to see it, you can. But it's troubling, but it's, it just looks like shit swimming around. Yeah. Images of the parasites have been featured in a case study of the man's infection published in the New England Journal of Medicine and authored by, blah, blah, blah. No one cares about that. The 26-year-old man sought medical... 26. Wow. This is tough at any age, but that's a young age. You haven't gone through a lot of shit at 26. But you just graduated a few things.
Weird shit.
The 26-year-old man sought medical attention at the hospital after experiencing the pain and swelling, as well as a low-grade fever, for 1 month. So he was sleeping with swimmers for over a month. When doctors examined him, they observed tenderness, sure, swelling, you betcha, on the right side of his scrot, the bag of skin that holds the testicles. I like that they had to tell us that. It goes on to say, They then conducted an ultrasound examination, which revealed the possible presence of microscopic thread-like worms in the scrotum. Whoever just left, I don't blame you. I love the idea of someone quitting the podcast while leaving the mic on.
About not even like saying
just running into traffic. First car that comes. Further tests, including an analysis of the man's blood, confirmed the presence of the parasitic nematode species Wucheria bancrofti, whatever. Infection with this species, or roundworm, can result in a disease known as lymphatic something or other. Anyway, the disease is characterized, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you need to know this.
I mean, like
the way he probably got it. I know we're all wondering how the fuck did he get this. They were able to treat it seems like, and he should be fine. But they think he probably got it from mosquitoes.
Eaters.
Mosquitoes.
Skeeters.
Oh, I thought you said theaters. Theaters.
No,
like, so don't go to movies. There's a lot that mosquitoes can give us. It can really fuck us up. Since the dawn of time, really.
Why you got your ball sack out for the skeeters?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm trying to skip ahead to see, okay, people who are infected with the adult worms can be treated with an anti-parasitic drug. In case of the patient in India, doctors put him on a 3-week course and his symptoms resolved. So that's the happy ending if you want to look at it that way. Yeah. Thread-like worms. Can you imagine seeing, you know how pregnant women or expecting parents get that thrill of seeing the ultrasound of their baby's heartbeat? Especially, it's neat for everyone concerned, but especially that must be such an amazing moment to be the one carrying that child and being like, holy shit, this is happening inside me. This man went through that magic in a very, very different way. Could you imagine looking up at that screen and seeing...
it's a boy, and a boy, and a boy, and a boy.
And a boy, are you fucked.
Yeah.
And then the doctor gets up, and that's when you hear the squeaky door.
Well,
to go barf.
Well, I mean, like I'm thinking. Luckily, it was trapped inside a sack, right?
Yeah, it does sound like they can spread. I mean, it can get into your lymphatic system, and that's what you don't want from cancer because that goes to all the other lymphatic systems. Yeah, pretty fucking gnarly.
Well, I was
gonna say real quick, a month with a low-grade fever and all this other shit, but that's like that's pretty typical of a lot of people, especially in this country. I think it's just being like, it's not that bad. It'll go away soon, and then they're just dealing with it. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people aren't really that healthy either.
Well, this is India. I don't know what the healthcare system is like there, but I know that here, the healthcare system alone, and just the fear of costs, could keep people from going. It certainly has me. I mean, if I had a low grade fever for that long, I would definitely be going to the fucking doctor. But I have pushed things further than I probably should have from time to time, just because I'm like, well, I'm uninsured, or even when I was insured, I don't know how much of this is going to be covered. So
remember that one?
It's a gross.
Remember that one time? Remember that one time I had to go to the hospital and I had throat surgery from eating bad pussy?
I do remember
what?
That happens, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
How bad's bad, Lyle? Jesus fuck. Was it a corpse?
Well, he
it
went
wasn't
to
that
propose.
bad, it was tricky.
Bad pussy.
Wow.
Do you want to clarify the bad pussy remark, or should I just move on?
That's fine. I was gonna say that they recently, I guess, with a lot of this COVID vaccines, are finding people with have died, like these giant fucking nasty tapeworms.
What?
Inside of people? Yeah.
Not because of the COVID vaccine, though.
I think so.
No.
That's what it's the only common thing that they
I have not
all have in common. Yeah, it's weird.
Let me look that up.
Something to look into.
Seems sus.
Vaccine
It's something to look into. Might be a little
Well,
sus,
I remember a story that we covered a long time ago. I'm going to lean toward the vaccine thing, this not being true. But I remember a story a long time ago where there were some medical supplies that were infected with something, and people getting medicine from their doctor were being injected with tapeworms unknowingly. A new vaccine successfully blocks tapeworm. Oh, I guess I better put COVID in there. That's good news. Vaccinated and non-vaccinated are known to have different parasitic infections. That's not helping. No, this isn't a picture of the... I'm not getting anything.
Yeah. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, take that one with the grain of salt. Worms can affect vaccine efficiency. Here's an interesting story. Ted Nugent says he took parasitic worm medicine, ivermectin. Oh, there's a lot of weird things popping up, but nothing. Here's one that says worms and germs. No.
No, these were like autopsies. They would like be pulling them out of but dead people. What it was the embalming fluid was forcing all these just nasty rubbery kind of worm stuffs out of people's vascular system.
Well, what would that have to do with vaccine or no vaccine?
Well, it was because they thought it was the vaccine, COVID. COVID-related deaths. They died from COVID. That's what it was.
Oh, so it's not vaccine-related. It's that they...
Well, it's just COVID, yeah.
COVID-related.
If you get it. Which I thought was kind of scary.
Well, some weird-ass shit.
I am not seeing anything, and I'm scrolling. But, yeah, look into that.
The closest that I found... The closest that I found was something that says that basically that debunks Facebook posts that are... pictures of vaccine samples that contain parasites or whatever. I don't know. Okay. None of these claims are true. It says, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, do your research, people. Off to YouTube we go.
Yeah, but when you say do your research now,
everybody goes there.
It's like everyone does their own research, and doing your own research is tricky.
That's what I'm getting at.
My mom and her QAnon. So wait a minute, real quick. I hate to even bring this up because I want to get to our game here, and we got a guest coming. So, I have seen people. There are some semi-famous people that I follow on Facebook just because I like to keep up on what the crazy people are saying. And I'm sorry, these people are crazy, or just bored. And my mom isn't crazy, but she's going down the QAnon rabbit hole. She's very, very bored. She's retired and very, all those things we talked about.
No.
I know it's really sad, but I have started seeing people referring to Elon as a Q, if not the Q. Have you guys seen any of this?
From Star Trek?
I haven't seen any of that, but it surprised me.
What are you talking about?
From QAnon, Q from QAnon. Everyone, I don't know how anyone.
I'm not verbed on the old QAnon.
You gotta get verbed, son. You gotta get all verbed up on. Do you have HBO Max, Lyle?
Stay away from it, Lyle.
No.
I know. There's a fascinating documentary on it, but in that documentary series on HBO, which is called Q Enter the Storm, I think. Or something like that.
I think that's what it is.
The dude, it's Ron Watkins is fucking Q. That's who Q was. And maybe at some point his creepy fucking dad, who made, among other things, made a lot of money off of hosting porn sites, some of which, by the way, were catered to child predators. And so these are your big fucking heroes. We know who Q was and how it came to be, and people are still just... But I love how they just won't stop glomming it on. At one point it's supposed to be Trump, at one point it's supposed to be Bannon, and all of that has been proven to be where it all came from, why people think that. And anyway, I just was curious if you guys have seen people linking Elon to Q. Maybe we'll see.
That's the first I've actually heard of that, and I'm actually pretty plugged into the whole controversy, what's going on with Twitter and all that shit. And I read not stuff just on Twitter, but I read stuff on this forum that I go to that it has a pretty good discussion about some good threads about the whole thing. either Twitter focused or Elon focused, and that's like really the first I've heard of that. But does not surprise me.
Well,
I saw a great meme the other day, and it was like, it's important to remember that Elon Musk is not Iron Man; he's Lex Luthor.
well,
Lex Loser is how I saw it. But
Lex Loser. Well, it's also important to note that this did not come from Elon. This came from somebody, a few other people that are, again, semi-famous.
of course,
QAnon,
but if somebody actually posted that on Twitter, like you can damn well be sure that Elon would reply to it going, interesting,
like,
or something.
Yeah, do a poll. Do you
some
think
fucking-
I'm cute,
yes, do
or
a
do you
poll,
think
like-
I'm not cute?
Oh my god! Dude.
Yeah. Jesus Christ!
Don't even get me started.
Well, does anyone have any news stories they want to get to before I get on to our little game here?
All I wanted to do is throw out what you're watching really fast.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I have one too. Go ahead.
I just finished. I admittedly, it took me 3 sittings, which is not uncommon for me lately. I'm just tired all the time. But I watched that Baz Luhrmann Elvis flick, and God, it was. I keep thinking about it. So there's that.
Yeah.
But it's a weird movie. I mean, it's Baz Luhrmann. Like,
Yeah.
he's put modern music in, and it's strange sometimes, and the pacing is fucking weird. But I'll tell you what, that kid they got to play Elvis, his name's escaping me. You know what I'm talking about? What's his name? He's kind of an unknown. He's been in a few flicks. I don't know. He was fucking amazing. I was absolutely captivated by his performance as Elvis. Not only that, but he sung all the live stuff that was actually him. It gets to the point, like, it covers his whole life, even, Fat Elvis. And it gets to the point where spoiler alert, they show, like, his last performance. And all this, and then they start splicing in, like, real footage of Elvis. And all of a sudden, I can't fucking tell what's real footage and what's this kid dressed as Elvis any longer. And that was kind of a magical moment where I was like, I can't fucking discern between the two.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was like, what's what? Fuck. I highly recommend giving it a watch just for the performances alone. Tom Hanks is his character, his role, he's Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Colonel Tom, excuse me,
Tom.
Uncle Tom.
Tom.
Coming this fall.
Well, someone
Bit of a
Uncle
difference.
some would say that's a good Freudian slip concerning Elvis.
It's a different Tom. It's old Uncle Tom.
Yeah, they don't shy away from the fact that he basically stole his music from black, blues singers.
Well,
And
they invented rock and roll. There's no fucking
Yeah.
question. And everything that rock and roll was based on, and jazz and blues.
yeah.
Well, it's really interesting that you brought that up because my game involves someone from this movie. I don't know the kid you're talking about. I
Austin
honestly
Eckler. Austin Eckler, that's his name.
I have not seen any trailer or footage of this. I've only seen like little
It's fucking
postings about it.
beautiful.
But I've been curious.
It's on HBO.
Baz
right now.
Luhrmann is hit and miss with me, but I have a certain appreciation for him in the same way that I have an appreciation for like Wes Anderson and Tarantino, where they don't always produce something that really resonates with me, but I like that they kind of have their own things going on. They're I would put him in that auteur category.
Did Baz? This is just a random aside, but did Baz Luhrmann do A Knight's Tale?
Boy, that's
might
an
have.
interesting. That kind of makes sense, but A Knight's Tale almost seems too normal.
But I don't know, because you were just talking about like the whole like
Find that out.
doing an anachronistic music within the film that just made me think, like, because I couldn't remember
like
who
the We
directed
Will
it.
Rock You. That was pretty funny when that
I
happened.
mean, that whole movie it's like full of modern rock songs.
Brian Hegeland is who wrote and directed A Knight's Tale, which is very rare for a Hollywood
weird.
pitch. Anyway, did you have any more to say on that, Chris?
No, worth the watch though.
I will definitely check it out. I am sort of fascinated by Elvis more than I'm a fan of Elvis. I am a fan of Elvis. I do listen to Elvis's music quite a bit, actually, but more so than that, he's such a curious figure in history. There's only one Elvis, and yeah, all of those things that you could say that are sort of negative about him are most likely true and accurate, but there's only one story like Elvis's, and the fact that you can still go tour Graceland and they saved a lot of it like it was back in the 70s and all that old shit, it's just, there's a lot of fascination for me concerning Elvis and the peanut butter and banana sandwiches that I think we just talked about in the last show. Interesting dude, and fucking I hope that they handle a couple of stories that I really like and wanted to see at least a dramatized version of, but I'll wait and see. And I'll get to why that was sort of coincidental that you brought that up. But before I do that, I got to say, for the first time since 2000 I feel like it was 2016 was the last time I watched an episode of The Walking Dead.
Oh, wow.
I got back into it because I saw that it wrapped up, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just have that playing, and I don't have to put it, because I stopped watching it when it was, I would watch it week by week. It wasn't streaming at that point. I mean, I'd seen all the ones if they were. And I just got tired of it, and the last episode I saw was the infamous Negan around the campfire.
Oh, wow.
episode,
So
which
you jumped right in.
Fucking brutal. And I didn't watch that again, but I
know,
watched the second.
Did you know who got clobbered then? Did you ever find out until you picked it back up?
Oh, yeah, no, I saw the full episode.
Oh, no, because they don't show you to the next season, the first, they don't show you who gets clobbered till, like, the next season or whatever.
Whatever the clobbering episode is, I think I probably saw that in maybe like one or two episodes after.
Okay, gotcha.
But I think he was saying that he saw the one where he actually see him killing the people, and then he was like, nope.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I must have seen the next one because I remembered certain parts of it, but that's about where, and it had nothing to do with the content. At that point, I thought it was getting interesting again, honestly. And the Walking Dead lost me, and then got me again, then lost me, and then got me again. It gets tedious when you're watching it in real time.
Same.
In a way that it doesn't get as tedious when you can stream it. Same with all these shows, Lost, even Breaking Bad. Some of these, they meander a while, and when you get one a week and then half a year off, and then you get what you get, it's more frustrating than when you can just stream it all. So I've been enjoying it. And I do think that the Negan stuff really rekindled some interesting shit with The Walking Dead. But I'm not done. I'm finally on the last season. I think I'm like 8 or so episodes away from the absolute finale. But with zero spoilers, I just wanted to know if you guys ever finished that show.
I got pretty far. I think I'm maybe 2 seasons behind. And I agree. It took a lull, but it got better.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think I watched. I think the last season I watched was 8, maybe, or 9. I can't remember.
Yeah, mine was.
But I've been interested. I've been kind of like in the back of my head, be like, maybe you should pick that back up again.
I recommend it. I think this is some of the best. I think it's some of the best stuff that they've done. Honestly, yeah. There's still some meandering shit and still some very self-indulgent on the part of the director's episodes. But again, you don't have to wait until next week or even next year to pick back up. You can cruise through them. And I got caught up to the last season in just like a little over a week, mostly just having it in the background. But I do recommend it. Sorry, Lyle, I think you got cut off.
I was going to say, I think I left off where they were in the quarry, and they were trying to block everything off in the quarry to get like away from the zombies or whatever.
You're going to have to be more specific. It gets to be a blur. I didn't go back. I definitely was not going to start back at episode 1 or even go back to get caught up. So they flash back every now and again, and there are things I was like, I know I watched that, but I don't remember. I don't even remember those fucking characters. Like the dude with the eye patch, I completely forgot about. They flash back to him.
Oh, the governor?
He was pretty early on, wasn't he? Like, and then the prison stuff, I'm like, Jesus, that whole prison.
That was season 3.
Season drove me crazy. It was like, get out of the prison already.
The farm was worse for me. Oh god.
See, I think that too. I think that it picked up. I think you guys will. I don't know how it ends. I did get some. I won't share it, but I did get quite a bit of stuff spoiled and concerning the very last part of the very last episode, just because people were posting it, and even the ads for the show was like, whoa, I guess they made it and they made it and they made it, But I've already seen a little bit of trickery with that because they fooled me with one of them. One of those characters that they made it look like made it to the last episode definitely did not. So there's enough to hang on to, and there's a couple surprises that I was really surprised about. and did not think we would see ever.
I think I'm into a rewatch of the entire Walking Dead at some. Maybe this is the time now that everything's there.
Well,
it's such great television, right? I mean,
there is a lot of good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of eye rolling, but again, it's a different pace when you can just cruise through it, and you can always skip ahead. You can remember the episodes like, oh, not this one again. You just skip ahead. Different world. But I'm enjoying it. I don't know how it ends. I guess by the time we talk next, I will, because I'm only a few episodes away from, and I still wouldn't spoil it, but I can let you know what I felt about it.
Sure.
But right now, I'm digging it. I've liked the new characters. I've liked the Negan arc, where that all went, and then there's some new shit that it's interesting. There's a lot of cues that I think, whether intentionally or not, they've sort of taken from Lost. And I don't dislike that. Like, there are some elements that I really loved about Lost that they're kind of, they've gone down. But that's as far as I'll get. I just wanted to mention. And I was curious if any of you had finished it. I felt like we all were on the sort of same page with Walking Dead, in that it was losing us for a while. But we haven't talked about that shit for fucking ever. Anywho, the reason I thought it was interesting that you brought up the Baz Luhrmann. I forgot that Tom Hanks was in that movie. But what we are doing tonight, quickly, before we get on to our guest and some weird triv, is we're going to talk about the highest grossing Tom Hanks movies of all time. Wow. This is interesting. I think this is a good mix of challenging, some on the nose stuff and some stuff that just might be, like, I'll be surprised if you guys get, but it's a good mix. And we're going to do the top 14, because that's the list that I found. Internet Movie Database. And I will give you the numbers, if you guys care. So, how about, since Lyle has had such a shitty-ass life, I was going to say week, month, year, he's had a good life. He's got good experiences, so that's not fair, but it's also not fair to say shitty week. But I'm going to give Lyle first dibs. Since Christopher rarely gets to play the games, I'm going to give him right in the middle. And John Mark, I think, will always be happy taking up the caboose. So, Lyle, you get first dibs. The highest grossing Tom Hanks movie of all time. Top 14. Number 1 is worth 14. Number 14 is worth 1. Some surprises on here.
Well, he's got so many. So
fucking many. Yeah, so many.
I'm gonna say Saving Ryan Privates. Wait,
I remember seeing Saving Ryan's Privates. Saving Private Ryan is number 6. That's a good start, because that gets you 9 points. And that gross. Now, these are inflated. These are adjusted for inflation.
Sure.
But Saving Private Ryan earned $882 million. So, that leaves a whole lot of Tom Hanks left. Chris, where you going?
Chris.
Oops, sorry. How about
I'm
Da Vinci Code?
I'm gonna picture that he's miming it over there. The Da Vinci Code is, that's a good guess, number
That's my favorite movie.
4. That's your favorite movie?
Probably, yeah.
It's fun to watch. I love that kind of shit. All those puzzles and mysteries, and I even like the National Treasure type movies. You know, the lesser Da Vinci Codes, if you will.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that was number 4, which gives you 11 points, and that earned $1.1 billion to date. This motherfucker has made some money for these studios. John Mark. Top 3 still there.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's the one.
Forrest Gump. I would have guessed that would be number 1. Pretty close, though. Number Deuce, which puts you in the lead currently with 13. And that earned $1.3 billion. But you guys are, you're hitting, we got the top 6 almost crossed off here, but 2 more.
You know what I'd like to say? I'd like to say I like chocolates.
Mm-hmm. Just guess that.
So are you going to guess
Forrest,
a non-Forrest Gump movie in Forrest Gump's voice?
We're going to go with Forrest Holmes.
All right.
Lyle's had a tough time. John Mark just got Forrest Gump.
Oh, did he? Well,
Literally 9 seconds ago.
Is that metal taste I have in my
We'll
mouth?
cut you a break.
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna go with Castaway with the little.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I was a little surprised that this was back at number 7. I feel like this was for a while, this had to have been his biggest movie for sure.
Long time.
But it's not bad. You got 8 points out of that, and he earned 734 mil for that one, or that's what the film earned. It'd be a heck of a payday. But that takes you up to 17 to Christopher's 11 and John Mark's 13 for now. Chris, your next guess. Number 1 still on the board.
Sleepless in Seattle.
This was a surprise for me. It is on the list, but it's dead last.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 14.
Right. Cool.
I think, again, that was one of his bigger... Tom Hanks has had such a wacky career. You know, my first memory of him being in a movie was Bachelor Party, and I was a kid, and he did a bunch of goofy comedies like that. Like my favorite movies of his are those earlier goofy comedies. Almost none of which are on this list, by the way. In fact, that one might be it. That's my only clue. But Sleepless in Seattle's on there. Earned 467 mil. That gets you 1 point. Wasn't a whiff. John Mark, good time to catch. Take second at least.
Man, now I'm like trying to think of Tom Hanks movies. Like the only ones that I can think of are like, is that even like, was that panned or was that successful? Or I'm gonna go with Big.
No, Big is not on this list. I will say,
what?
There are a couple on here that I think are surprises that they're on here. But these are all pretty much blockbuster, big movies. Not that Big wasn't, but that's what I'm saying. The dude has had I would bet that Big is probably like number 18 career. Or something like that. Yeah. And over so many periods. All right. Well, that's our first whiff. But you're not too bad. You're 13 and Lyle is currently at 17 for now.
Have you heard of a movie called Apollo 13?
One of my favorite personal movies. Literally, I have to watch that at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. Number 10, which gets you another 5 points, which takes you to 22. Right? 17 plus 5 equals 22. I should probably continuously do my math out loud because I didn't graduate.
Always.
Even though Lyle was in the same remedial math classes as I was, he at least graduated.
I could count with my fingers.
Yeah, both. All right, Chris, you need one of the top. Let's see, number 5, number 3, and number 1 still on the board.
Let me ask you: are there other voice acting stuff in this too, not just acting roles?
All of it's included. Yes.
I'm gonna go Toy Story 2.
Toy
Story.
Interesting that you guessed 2. But that is number 5. And that's worth 10 damn points. That's exactly what you needed. Put you right back in it at 22. Okay, John Mark.
Toy Story 1?
Well, this is where it's going to get a little interesting for a bit. You're going to go through these. Just a question of who guesses what at what point. Why can I not say Toy Story?
Tory.
Explain the auto accident, Ron.
Toy Story. Toy Story 1 is up at number 8. 7. Oh, I forgot to give the other numbers. I guess that's not that interesting, though. But I will say this one since I'm looking at it. 708 million, and that is worth 7 points. So you guys are all in it. It is now 22 to 22 to 20.
Dang.
Good game. All right, Lyle.
Okay.
He's fucking kicking it.
Let it go. I remember this being a pretty good movie as it was out. I want to say it was The Last Green Mile or The Green Mile.
The Green Mile. Do you know, I don't think I have ever seen The Green Mile.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I've read the book.
It's a good movie.
But I've seen so many clips from it that I feel like I've seen it. The Green Mile is number 12. at 517 mil, but that gets you 3 points. So right back on top with 25. All right, Chris, this is your time to whip it out. Take the lead. You got number 1 and number 3.
I'm riding that Toy Story train all the way to Pound Town. We're going Toy Story 3.
Oh, number 1 with a bullet.
What?
I was surprised by that too. Remind me. They all blur. I remember
I don't know if I've even
Toy Story
seen
1, but
The
two
had that.
two introduces the girl. What is 3? What's the big thing
Three
with
is the
3?
one where they almost all get incinerated at the end, and then
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
one moment where they hold hands and they're like going to their death. It was the fucking saddest, sweetest thing I've ever seen. That's all I really remember about it.
I'm sure I've seen it, but it's just like when that first one came out, you saw it in the theater maybe a couple times, then you got on VHS. I always see the first ones more than the sequels usually.
Yeah.
But that was number fucking 1. And that puts you well in the lead now, 32. But we still have number 3 and, well, the rest of the list. But that number 3 is the last one on the big hitters. So you better think carefully here, John Mark.
Yeah, I'm thinking carefully, and I honestly I'm just like, fuck. He's made so many goddamn movies, and I'm just like, the only ones that are coming to mind are like ones that I'm pretty sure are probably not even on the list. So I'm gonna have to go with fuck. There's there's two that I'm like waffling between, and like I'm pretty sure that they're neither of them. But fuck it, Cloud Atlas.
Old.
I don't know how Cloud Atlas did in the movies. It was a big budget movie, but you don't hear people talking about it much.
I don't think it did very well, but that's the only thing that's coming to mind.
Okay, not on the list, but it was a good guess. I probably would have guessed that at some point. Just by sheer nature that it was a big deal when that movie came out. I loved that fucking book. I was deeply disappointed when the movie didn't follow. Everything about that book is in its timeline. It's a very unique timeline. Did you read the book, Jamar?
I think I did, yeah.
I know I talked about it before, but real quickly, it starts with like somebody back in I don't know, the 1800s or whatever, writing a letter, and then it just gets cut off, and then it starts a whole new story a little bit further in time, and then someone at the end of that chapter is like, by the way, I found this knapsack of letters, and it ends right here, and it just keeps going all the way into the future, and then it slowly starts working its way back. It's so fucking amazing. It's spellbinding. And in the movie, obviously it hops around in different times, but it just doesn't quite get all over the map. It doesn't do it in that same way, and I guess it couldn't. One of the whole chapters was just somebody who was composing music, and that ended up being it was amazing. That book is fucking amazing. Even if you hated the movie, I recommend going back and reading that book. No Cloud Atlas, though. So that takes us back to Lyle. You got a chance to take the lead again if you get that number 3.
There's one I like a lot, and I don't think it's on there, to be honest with you, but Angels and Demons.
That's a good guess. It is on there. One of his biggest. I don't think that came out all that long after Da Vinci Code, and Da Vinci Code was still kind of hot, so I think they surfed on some of that, but it was the sequel to Da Vinci Code, and that is number 9. This gets you 6 points. Doesn't take you quite into the lead, but it's damn close. You're now 31 to Christopher's 32.
I'm gonna take a bold approach here. It's tough for me not to ride that Toy Story train right into victory.
It's been good to you so far, but when do you walk away from the one-armed bandit, huh?
You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them,
know when to tory him.
I think as it's the holiday season and fucking Christmas movies make a lot of money, I'm gonna go with the Polar Express.
Good guess. It's not high on the list at all, but it's number 13. That got you 2 more points and maintains your lead at 34. Okay. I would have put the Polar Express up there higher too, especially over maybe like the Green Mile, but Green Mile did better. Apollo 13 did better. That doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I thought Polar Express was a bigger movie too. But these are all fucking huge movies. I mean, look at the ones we've listed. These are big-ass movies, and we're almost through the list. So I think we might have one more round. We'll see. We might have 2 more rounds. So, John Mark, this is your last chance. You got to get number 3 if you're going to stay in it.
No, I'm not getting number 3 because the only thing I can think of is You've Got Mail.
Well, hey, that could be money.
That's what I was gonna go.
It could be. It's not, but it could be.
I didn't think so.
It's not a bad one. That's it's not a bad guess at all. Okay, well, John Mark's probably out, but we still have a few more left here. Lyle, you got one more chance. Take the lead from Chris. And
how
remember,
about
number 3, still on the board?
How about them sexy mermaids? How about Splash?
Oh, good, Chris.
No, Splash not on this list, but that sure was a memorable movie in my neck. We weren't allowed to have too many cassettes in the house that had boobies. I don't think they were full-on boobies. I remember them being sort of silhouetted underwater, but they're boobies.
Little side boobs.
Look, when you're 9 and you're starting to figure shit out, there's boobies. But I also had a copy of Bachelor Party, and them had full boobies. All right. Well, Chris, I think you probably.
I gotta put the nail in the coffin though. And ride that Toy Story train in, baby. Toy Story 4. Give it to me.
That is the nail in the coffin because that is number 3.
Did I claim all the toys? No,
$1.2 billion, and that's worth 12 points, which takes you well into the lead with 46. Well done. 31, 46 to 20. That's not bad.
God. Not bad at all. All right, you guys want to take a quick break and then get our guest in?
Real quick, yeah. Right back. Okay. 2 and 2.
All right, I'm going to add our guest in. This is somebody of lore we've never had on the podcast. I'm kind of excited about it. Let's be kind to our friend here. Hold on, let me see if I can add them in. I don't know what the fuck. Every time Skype puts an I sound like Ron. Every time Skype puts an update out, I can't figure out how to remember.
I know.
Fuck me.
It's ridiculous.
This is stupid.
Someone who's never been on the show.
But somebody we know of.
Someone of lore. Okay.
Let's see if I can make this happen.
Oh, the anticipation is killing me.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Katie Surgery Jeff himself, Triffin!
What's up, Triffin?
Triffin Surgery
Hello.
Jeff. Now we can finally get confirmation that we have been pronouncing your beautiful exotic name properly, yeah?
Pretty much.
Well, glad to have
Close
you
enough.
aboard here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Well, I don't know if you've actually heard the trivia portion of the podcast. I'm sure you've listened to at least Katie popping on there.
I've listened to the podcast a few times. I don't listen to the podcast very often.
All right. Well, we're going to do 4 questions here, and you'll answer one at a time. You'll go last.
Okay.
So you can hear the benefit of the other fools going first.
Alrighty.
You can let's see. We'll do the answers at the end and see who comes out on top. Okay. But I can't start this without. I just missed something. I know we're forgetting something. I just. God, I better light this joint up and ponder. And
keep drawing it out. Describe the joint.
Yeah, it's a nice hybrid. It's it's a sativa heavy. Yeah.
Longer.
And
I've been so good at it lately too.
Yeah, I was like,
really,
he's got it ready. So.
I've really made leaps and bounds.
You've grown a lot.
The problem is I can never remember what word I need to search to bring it up in my. So I think it's going to be WT.
Jesus fuck.
Starting to wonder why.
Ron, make yourself sound good.
Oh, I will. Well, I will. I mean, that's a given. Come on. Can't all sound like idiots. Well. Show for a while here.
That was my favorite.
Right.
Huh.
I'll be goddamned. I will be goddamned. Here we go. This is it. So, nailed it. First try. Now,
Jesus fucking Christ. What are we doing? I've forgotten. We're taking so long.
I don't know. We start the show. Okay, and then I'll simply hit play. And
it's Weird Trivia with Christopher F. Hahn.
Oh, yeah.
At Florida, poop face, square shit in nature. Don't get me started on the goddamn brown hair. Sweet trivia, Christopher Fire.
Well worth the wait, I'm sure. So, all right, now we can begin.
Yes. All right. I am ready to go here. Let's get this started traditional order. So, Ronster, you're going to start us off. Christmas is almost upon us. Can you believe it? I ran across a little fun story from the UK, and about 10 years ago, they did a massive survey of children asking them what they wanted from Christmas from Santa this year. Number 10 caught my eye. Surprisingly, number 10 on the list was this, of the top 10 things that kids in the UK wanted from Santa that year. Was it American football to be played in the UK?
Okay.
Was it B, a new prime minister?
Sure.
Was it C, access to quality dentistry?
Oh, that's depressing.
Or was it D, a father?
And it gets depressinger.
Okay. Again, NFL to be played in the UK, a new prime min, access to quality dentistry, or a papa. Ronster.
Well, yeah, we do have football. And I know you guys over there have your own version of football, or football, but football is a pretty special sport, I think. And I've been wondering about how international it is. You know, the NFL's been going over and playing games in London and Germany, and
so this was 10 years ago too.
Kind of interesting, and there has to be a need. Just like I follow certain rugby teams and definitely international soccer. I don't know how much these are kids, right? I don't know how much children even over there are paying attention to politics. Dentistry. Yeah, I'm torn between what I want it to be, which is American football, and what I don't want it to be, which is father. I think I'm gonna go a little on the cheerful side here and say that they wish that they could have American football over in magical sport. And,
I'll put you down for an A.
I think we've created a beautiful thing here.
All right, John Mark.
Can you just kind of go over what the first part of the question, like the setup, real quick?
Yeah, 10 years ago, they did a massive survey to children asking them what they wanted from Santa for Christmas. Number 10 on the list was this. Football, prime minister, dentistry, or dad.
So we don't have any sort of like demographics of how old these kids were?
No, none.
Okay.
Do we know what they were wearing? Can we get that at least? Derbies, driver's caps.
Did they have all teeth?
Spoilers.
Shoot, I'm kind of leaning towards like American football, like Ron said too, for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah.
Okay, I'll put you down for A. Lyle.
I'm going with foosball.
Oh, shit.
Oh, look at this. Stacking up.
I think there's a difference. There's obviously a huge difference in the two, how they're played and how they're reacted to.
I think the NFL is wildly popular throughout the world.
I always thought it was, even in the 80s.
Sure, it would be. I just don't know how.
So.
I mean, what is it even? How is it even broadcast? You know, who knows?
Yeah.
No.
Who's even seeing it?
You can
Magnets.
fucking get here's the deal.
Magnets.
And you can do this with a VPN. You can get access to that the NFL, like, what is it, whatever their streaming service is directly from the NFL. It's like $100 a year, and you get all the games in 4K quality. You can't get it in the States unless you do VPN. And I'm wrong on the price on that. It went up.
Interesting.
But like, it would fucking be great to have something like that.
I'm so sick of this bullshit. Just let us watch what we want to find. If we want to pay for it, don't make it exorbitant. Don't make us have to get a fucking VPN and pretend that we're in Africa. Just give us the goddamn fucking shit. We want to pay for it. We'll do it.
Yeah. Don't make this hard. Take my money. Give me my shit. Call it a day.
Well, it's a family game so far, so I'm curious where Triffin's going to go with this.
Mr. Surgery Jeff, hit me.
All right, well, I've got two gut instincts on this one. Obviously, the first one would be football because there's actually a buddy I talked to on Facebook. He lives in England and he loves American football. So he doesn't even call it football since that's what they call soccer over there. He calls it gridiron, which I think is an even cooler name.
Gridiron, that's not
I
bad.
don't hate that.
I'm
hate
not opposed to that.
And then the other one is dentistry, because it reminds me of the old Simpsons episode where they bust out, when Lisa gets braces and they bust out the big British book of smiles.
Yeah.
They show her what her teeth will be in the future if she doesn't get them
it's
fixed.
Like growing through like the top lip and everything. So,
it's very disturbing.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll go with the dentistry one. I'll be a contrarian on this one.
Man out. This could pay.
Good pay.
Definitely pay.
All right. Question 2 is a listener submitted question. So you know what that means, Lyle? It's worth 2 points. Hit me, baby. Lyle?
We need that confirmation you're alive again, Lyle.
Proof of life on Lyle.
No, really, Lyle. He might be having a coughing fit.
2 points. 2 points.
There we go.
Yes.
Still with us.
All right. 2 points on the line here. Excuse me. And thank you to our Ben for sending this one over. A governor in South Dakota signed a new bill into law that rocks some boats. The bill particularly prohibits government employees from using this app. What application are government employees no longer allowed to use on their phone? Is it A, TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Is it B, Lensa?
Oh, I don't know that one.
That's the photo AI one.
Okay.
The AI face one and ones we're using lately.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Is it C, Christian Mingle?
Okay.
Or is it D, Grinder?
Am I a bad person for thinking that I might do well on Christian Mingle?
I think there are people ready to convert.
Christian Tingle, you know, ready to convert.
Welcome to the Church of the Kennel, baby.
I'm sorry. The last one again was Grinder.
Mm-hmm.
So governments are banning.
Yeah, you can, as if you're a government employee, you cannot use one of these apps. He signed it into law.
Wait.
New bill into law.
Grinder
TikTok,
is, for anyone that doesn't know, that's I think that's strictly a male gay app. I feel like that would be pretty controversial just in terms of like singling out gay men. Mm-hmm. TikTok, I'm hearing a lot of shit about TikTok. Apple and Google are both considering, maybe they already have at this point, completely dropping TikTok from being available in their stores, which I thought was interesting. And I can't remember exactly why. I think it's something to do with the notion of the spyware that they're not. I don't think TikTok is passing the spyware tests for what we like to have standards for here. The Lens one, I think that might be a fresh news herring. And that leaves us, I think I'm going to go with TikTok just because I've been hearing so much about that, just with, like I said, Apple and Google. Those are the biggest places we usually go to get our apps. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't think you're going through them, you just you go to the App Store. Who do you think you're serving up? And they aren't on Team TikTok. So I don't know what that's about.
Gotcha. All right. I'm putting you down for the TikToky. John Mark.
I'm going to go with TikTok also.
Ooh, I like this. Okay.
Tick.
Lyle.
TikTok 3.
Oh, shit.
Interesting. All right, Triffin, you got a chance to go with?
Yeah, I'm going with TikTok. I've heard all sorts of dystopian stuff about that one, so
yeah,
I'm going with TikTok too.
Probably true, and it's amazing because it seems to be the one that is just exploding. The last few years, over the COVID years especially, TikTok just took the fuck off. Instagram, even Facebook, all these other apps are trying to sort of emulate certain aspects of TikTok. But TikTok is just this It's a movement, and if they're just straight up using that to spy on us, well, good on them. I mean, right? Like, they fucking good on them. Like, I could admit when I've been bested, sir.
And do you really care? You're like, well, here's everything you need. Let me get on my tiki-taki.
No, I do care. I would like for it to not have been a thing that but at this point, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I understand the world, and I use Google. I'm not so naive to think that I am off grid if I delete my TikTok. But there is something to be said about there's always increments, It does seem like TikTok has certain things that maybe some of these other apps don't, in terms of, like I said, it's the spy. From what I have read, and I haven't looked terribly deeply into it, but from what I've read, it does seem to be clearly that they are not adhering to what we would all consider even remedial spyware rules. So they're watching us. They're using us.
Sweet.
What they're doing with that information, God only knows. I mean, I'm just looking at fat chicks showing their feet and people skating around L.A. I mean, what are they going to do with that information? But
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, do you care? It's like, cool, yes.
See, but I don't like to have that mentality either, because I remember a few years ago when everyone started when like Snowden was all in the news, and everyone was talking about the NSA and how we're being spied on by our own government. Well, we now know that that's true. Our own government was fucking spying on us. And certain people were saying, well, what do I care? I'm not doing anything wrong. That's not the point. The point is you don't have the right, you don't have the constitutional right to do this against the people of this country. So I can stand on a principle, even if I don't really, in theory, care about the details of it. I still have a hard time just saying, now, you fucking do whatever you want with my information. I don't fucking care. That's not the way for humanity to progress, if you ask me. That's going down a very, very bad path, setting up a very bad precedent.
Yeah, I
just
agree
give
with that.
up our fucking privacy and literally our freedoms. I mean, we're just saying, I don't care. So I'm of two minds about that, but I hear what you're saying, Chris.
Sure. Okay, well, that got fucking fun real fast.
Now deleting TikTok. Say goodbye to Fat Foot Mama 69. Text me.
All right. Okay. Question 3. This animal is often referred to as the shark of the jungle in Africa for a very specific reason.
That's me. I'm going to go with D. Ron. Shark of the jungle.
And they get this for a nickname for a reason. They're responsible for nearly 500 human deaths a year.
Oh.
For reference, sharks kill less than 100 people a year. What animal are we talking about here?
I didn't know sharks killed that many people a year, if I'm being honest.
Is it A, hippos?
Oh.
I can't say hippos
bitches.
Without saying hippos, because it's a pinball call out on one of my favorite machines, Congo. So it's A, hippos.
Is that based on the movie Congo?
It is.
That's amazing.
I forgot about that.
I've got to play that fucking table. I love that movie.
Great pinball machine. Is it B, elephants?
Bloodthirsty bastards.
Never forget the taste of blood.
They never forget the joy of killing.
They never forget their first kill. Is it C, leopards? Or is it D?
How'd that go? That little...
Or is it D? Owen Wilson is a leopard. Wow.
The Owen Wilson leopard. Wow, wow, wow.
Or is it D? Rhinos. Again.
Fucking rhino?
What's referred to as the shark of the jungle? Is it hippos, elephants, leopards, or rhinos?
Well, I know hippos. I remember I was shocked. And it might have actually been the movie Congo that made me research, are hippos actually that violent? Because hippos, I always thought they were just like little cows that wandered into the water. But hippos are bloodthirsty bastards. Elephants, I have seen footage of elephants on charge and trample. They can cause some shit to cheetahs. Cheetahs. Shark of the I'm just trying to say this all in one sentence, and for some reason, cheetah, shark of the jungle.
Yeah.
It's not ringing true with me.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, did you say cheetah or leopard?
I actually did say
funny how I
leopard.
turned it into cheetah.
Yeah, you dumb
Cheetos.
bastard. You don't
Be a
know.
cheetah.
You don't fucking know.
Do some flaming hot cheetahs. And number D
Rhinos.
was what?
Number D was rhinos.
Rhinos hate when you light fires. That I remember from The Gods Must Be Crazy. I gotta go with hippos. Wait. Okay, hang on.
Oh, wait. Change it.
So they kill 300 people a year?
500
1,000.
human deaths per year. DPY.
Do hippos kill 500? Now I'm leaning toward cheetah, which, as it turns out, is one of my options.
Well, I hate to tell you this again, but it's not. It's a leopard.
I know. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm confused. You can appreciate my dilemma. I'm going to stick with my initial gut, which is hippos, because I was shocked with how temperamental and violent hippos can be.
Okay.
And, yeah, people over in the Congo, I know they take them seriously.
For real. All right, I'll put you down for hippos. John Mark.
Shark of the jungle.
I think I might be overthinking this a little bit. I'm trying to think of wait, do hippos actually live in the jungle? Because I don't know.
It's true of all these. Do we even know?
I know, right? But I'm gonna go with the hippo as well.
Okay.
That's like, wasn't it like
Brown.
we all thought there were tigers in Africa, but there aren't actually, right? They're all in Asia. Is that true? There's something like that.
What?
You
No.
could picture.
I think it's just lions that are in Africa.
There's no.
Yeah.
There's tigers in Asia and lions. In
Yeah,
Africa.
tigers are like in Bangladesh and
cheetahs
they're places
are in
like
the jungle, along with their
Cheetahs are on
synonymous
the
namesake,
savannah.
the leopard. All right, Lyle, where are you going with this one?
I'm gonna go with the hungry hippo.
This is really fucking interesting. I think we've
So
all gone
hungry
with the
all
same
the
answer
time.
Love it.
every time, except for Triffin. He might be the odd man out to win this. Except where he going here?
No, I'm going with hippos too for two reasons.
Interesting.
One, they live they spend half their life in the water anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And which when they say shark and water, and then two, I've seen some videos on YouTube where when they're chasing boats and those things are fast as hell. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and you see them kind of sit on the side, so they probably just jump up and grab them out of the boat, is my guess.
Yeah, the water
They're
thing
angry.
is something I hadn't
Angry
even thought of.
birds.
But yeah, those jaws are insane. Like you can see footage of them just like biting into a metal boat and just crimping it up like a fucking coffee can. Yeah, I would not. I don't know who I'd take my chance with, a shark or a hippo. If I'm on land, it'll be a shark.
Yeah, another land or sea
If I'm in
question.
water,
Always comes down
I
to
got a
land or
coin to
sea.
toss. Yeah.
You just don't be on a surfboard in the ocean. You're more safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd hang out with the cheetah and smoke some weed with the cheetah. oh wow. Wow. Hey.
The Owen Wilson cheetah, sure.
Hey, wow, are you gonna pass that? Wow.
Safest bet.
Wow.
Earn your spots. Wow.
Little old Wilson's in heat again. Wow.
This is one of my favorite things that happen on the podcast. The Owen Wilson cheetah.
The Owen Wilson. You know what I'm saying?
Owen Wilson. Oh, we got there. Full circle.
All right. Okay, guys. Question 4. Let me tell you, this game is fucking tight.
It has to be.
Close. It really
Three of
does.
us have the
There's really
exact same
option.
answers.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. It's been in a study. Nope. Try that again.
Wow.
In a study.
Do repeat a cheetah.
That men who do this at least 2 times a week are 45% less likely to have a heart attack than men who do this 2 times a week or more. This is a really poorly written question.
So men who do it 3 times a week are going to be better off than men who only do it 2 times a week.
Or more. are 45% less likely to die of a heart attack.
You know,
2 times
we're
a week.
already guessing, so let's see what we got.
Is it A, drink red wine?
Okay.
Is it B, have sex?
Sure. Had to be on there.
Meow.
Oh, you don't want to hear a meowing cheetah during fucking heat season? You ain't hiding that with campfire.
Is it C, floss their teeth? Oral hygiene is important. Or is it D?
It's so much less fun than the other two.
Or is it D, change their bed sheets?
3 versus 2. Okay, well, this is an interesting array of answers.
Twice a week, yeah.
Well, but the key thing here is how much benefit could you get from one more week or one less week? The wine thing, I feel like what we hear over and over and over again is there is some potential medical benefits to a certain amount of wine, but if you go over that, even a little bit, it not only negates those benefits, but it goes into the harmful category. So I feel like wine wouldn't make sense here. Changing the sheets. 9 years, no sheet change and running, healthy as a horse. So I don't buy that.
Oh my God, no! Is that
9
true?
years?
No, bro.
I wash my sheets weekly.
I know what happens in that bed. I've heard.
Yeah, getting away with 3 days sometimes.
Oh no, bro.
No, I do wash my sheets, but not because of health reasons. Because you got to wash your fucking sheets.
Well, when's excessive?
Well,
You know what I
I
mean?
don't. I do
Your
it once a
sheets?
week. I wash.
Yeah.
I have a ritual of washing my sheets once. I mean, unless something,
Well, yeah. I
calls
mean,
for-
if you're gonna
something
a
calls
fucking
for
orgy or something on your bed, you're gonna go clean
refresh
your
my
shit
memory.
up.
I was headed toward B. What was B?
Have sex.
Well, yeah, that's the obvious one though. But that might be the herring. What was C?
Floss their teeth.
I hate to choose flossing my teeth over sex, but I feel like that could be a big. I'm looking at increments. I think regular sex obviously is healthy. Regular flossing, if you skip a week, that could be a bigger deal than skipping a week of sex. I'm gonna go with flossing your teeth.
All right, I'll
Hate
put
to
you
do it.
down for a C.
Sorry, I took 20 minutes to get there.
John Mark.
I'm going with flossing.
Yeah.
Fucking hookers.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna have to have a
I'm-
tiebreaker if we are right.
I'm going with flossing too because
Fuck.
there's
Has this ever happened? I don't think this has ever happened.
there's different diseases you could get up in your gums and shit, right?
Mhm.
And like knowing that with like getting kidney transplant and shit like that, I know a lot about all that stuff, and that some of that stuff's really bad. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
you could get like
floss.
some serious diseases in your mouth,
Mhm.
and so yeah, flossing and stuff.
It
they
takes
always tell you to
number 9
floss.
gauge wire to floss my middle teeth. Everything else is pretty typical.
Folded 5 times. I mean,
Just spray it with the dishwasher hose. And done.
easy.
Well, Triffin, this is really. I don't think in the history of the entire podcast have all of the main hosts gone with all of the same answers. You mostly went with us. You differed. So this is
Yeah.
interesting what you're going to do here.
Well, since my wife, she was in the dentist industry for ever and ever, it makes me want to say flossing. But if you go to the dentist regularly and get your teeth cleaned and stuff, you don't have to worry about it as much.
It's true.
So I'm going to go with red wine.
Interesting.
Red
That
wine.
drinking red wine. You know, what's interesting about that is my logic doesn't really pan out all that much, actually, because you didn't say how many servings. You said how many times or how many. What was the fucking question, actually, at this point?
The last one?
Yeah, this one.
Sorry, I was tabulating. Men who do this 2 times a week or more are 44% less
Well, it
likely
is
to die of a
something
heart
with
attack.
servings. Okay. All right. Well, let's find out. This is interesting. This is a
Let's
very
go with the answers.
interesting round.
Okay, question 1. 10 years ago, they did a survey in the UK, and they asked children, what do you want from Santa? And the number 10 answer that year was a father. Isn't that fucking heartbreaking? Oh,
that's tragic.
Woof.
That is tragic.
Fucking woof. No one got that.
Christ.
Yeah.
Way to bring
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas,
joy
everyone.
to everybody.
No one got that. Just like those kids didn't get fathers that year.
We are all point orphans as of yet.
Question 2. Again, thank you to our Ben for sending this over, making this, Lyle, get ready, worth a whopping 2 points.
2 points.
Perfect. A governor in South Dakota signed a new bill into law that rocked some boats. The bill particularly prohibits government employees from using TikTok. Gotcha. Just didn't fool you. Okay. On the board for 2 points right off the bat. Well, right off the second question bat. This animal is often referred to as the shark of the jungle.
Wow.
In Africa for a very specific reason. They're responsible for nearly 500 human deaths a year. We were talking about hippos, which Ron, John Mark, and Lyle got correct. And Triffin, did you go with that?
I think Triffin went with that too. I think the only one he differed with us on up till now was A.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Number A.
Let's see. They call him the shark of the jungle because of their sharp teeth and jaw strength.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been
500.
studied. Yeah, 500.
They kill 500 people a year.
Oh yeah, isn't that
they're probably. Well, you see, a shark gives itself away sometimes with that fin.
That's the thing; they don't fuck around. They just kill you.
Yeah,
they don't.
And they can walk on the bottom. They can swim. They can walk on the bottom and just.
Well, the thing is, they don't toy with you. They just drag you out, kill you, and then just fucking do whatever they're going to do.
Also, there's less people in the area where sharks would be able to get you than there are people that just like go down to the river to like wash their clothes or get some water or do whatever. People just go snatch, and then you're fucking done.
Yoink.
Done, son.
Well, nice try with the meowing cheetah herring there, Chris. That was that almost got me at one point.
Okay, let's see here. So tie game still. Question 4.
Wow.
It's been studied. Meow.
It's so goddamn funny to me.
Meow. It's been studied that men who do this at least twice a week are 45% less likely to have a heart attack. We're talking about having sex, the old sex herring, guys.
Oh, you got us.
Yeah, good cardio, good for your body. Too easy. We have a fucking tie.
Keeps you happy.
Gosh, let me see. I have a great. This is Christmas-esque. This is perfect. So I'm gonna need you all to open up a singular message to me. Lyle, just a message right to me. Triffin, send me a message on Messenger.
So who's the tie between here?
All of you. You're all fucking tied.
We all ended up.
Yeah. So we got to see a great little tiebreaker here.
Okay.
Macaulay Culkin was paid $100,000 for Home Alone 1. Relatively unknown actor at the time. Seemed like a great gig for his job. My words are fucking leaving me. How much? What's important though was he was paid substantially more for Home Alone 2. He had a little negotiating power at this point. Home Alone 1 was a massive success. How much was he paid for Home Alone 2? Again, he made $100,000 for Home Alone 1. What do you think he made for Home Alone 2?
Wow. Fuck. I'm trying to think in terms of what that initial movie must have made. I couldn't even guess. I feel like that was a pretty big movie, though, but I'm going to go... I feel like I'm going pretty big here. But
okay. Ooh, fucking fascinating. All right, let's get close here. Wow. Lyle came in at $300,000. So yes, substantially more than $100,000.
Interesting. Well, maybe I really went over.
John Mark came in at $2.5 million.
Okay, that's closer.
Ron came in at $3 million, and Triffin came in at $10 million. Pretty good jump there. Nice variety. That was my
dollar. That was my dollar question.
Yeah. The correct answer was $4.5 million. Ronster got pretty close there.
Shit.
So yeah, he made $4.5 million. Pretty great.
Wow.
Ronster, that makes you our winner. Congratulations.
Right.
You're back in the saddle again, sir.
I'm back.
Yeah, you're back, baby.
I shan't bother adjusting the seat.
No, don't get used to it.
I'm just driving down the block. But
you're
wow,
a visitor.
200,000, 300,000 to 4 mil.
100,000.
100,000
to 3.5 mil. Yeah.
Freaking jump.
Pretty crazy.
That is a raise. Well, what's funny is that I never would have guessed that Macaulay Culkin ever made that much money until I thought about, the Home Alone was everything.
Oh, yeah.
For like an entire year at least back in the day. People still don't shut the fuck. Every time it starts getting snowy and cold, people start talking about Home Alone. Forever. I think it's one of those forever movies. But even back in the day, it was so fucking huge. But it never occurred to me that movie must have made so much fucking money. You could not do a Home Alone 2. You could do a Home Alone 4, maybe without Macaulay Culkin, but you couldn't do a Home Alone 2 without Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And he was hot. Like, that movie made him a star, you know.
What was first? Was My Girl? My Girl must have been first, right? Because he was tiny in that.
I don't think so.
Was My Girl
I think it was
after
after.
Home Alone?
Yeah, it was after. Yeah, they had a little star
just
power.
the next summer, I think.
Yeah.
And Uncle
good
Buck,
memory.
What,
dude,
what
Uncle
else?
Buck was fucking awesome.
Say that again?
Uncle Buck.
Remember The Good Son?
Yeah.
The one where he played the
I gotta
evil
know what
kid?
order these came in. The Good Son.
Uncle
That
Buck
was
was
one that I was
his
trying to dial
With
up.
Elijah Wood. Elijah
Yeah.
Wood was in that with him.
That was an interesting, I think slightly ahead of its time
Oh, yeah.
movie because it made kids evil and creepy. Not that hadn't been done before, but
Didn't he do Richie
fucking,
Rich
like,
too?
shooting
He did a
cats off
Richie
the
Rich
fence.
movie, I think.
did he?
I think
I think
he did.
you're
I
right.
think that was another
I think-
paycheck
yeah,
flick
I
for
think
him. It
you're
was
right.
terrible. It wasn't good, but
Macaulay Culkin filmography. I'm
Here we
dying to
go.
know in what
Let's-
order this happened.
let's do it.
I think you guys are probably right, but didn't he seem so small in
I think Uncle Buck was first
My
before
Girl?
Home Alone.
I guess maybe he was older.
I think Uncle Buck was his first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Uncle Buck
Yeah, he was pretty small.
There's Rocket Gibraltar, 88. Then 89 was Uncle Buck. 1990 was Home Alone. So, yeah, Uncle Buck was barely first. 91 was My Girl. So it was after. Home Alone 2 was after that at 92. Then he was in The Nutcracker. The Page Master, he was the voice. Yeah, he was in Richie Rich.
Was he Casper?
No,
Casper's
Casper
voice?
was... who was the voice of Casper? You thinking the Christina Ricci one?
Yeah.
I can't remember who that was. I think it was the boy that actually played him in... Because he was alive at one point. What's
Anyways.
crazy here about his career, so the Page Master and Richie Rich were in 1994. The next movie on his filmography is 2003, where he plays a drug addict murderer in Party Monster. I don't know if you guys know the Party Monster story.
Oh yeah, that
I never
movie's
saw
terrifying.
I never saw that movie, but I've seen the documentaries about the actual guy that it's based on, and yeah, it's a pretty brutal story. And then nothing I recognize after that. That was really the last of his career.
Because he
just
didn't really
retired.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just. He didn't really need to do anything, and he was just like, fuck it, I'm out. And he has his.
Wasn't he one of these kids that had troubles with their parents? Like
His parents ripped him off bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how that all panned out.
Yeah.
I'm
sure he gets some kind. I hope he gets some residual or something from.
Oh,
Well, what's funny?
Sure,
I see
sure
him
he
pop.
does.
I see him pop up all the time. He just doesn't seem to act anymore. Like he pops up.
No,
on
he's
shows
got a
and-
podcast and he does shit like that. But he's pretty chill. He had a band for a while. The Pizza Underground.
Yeah, something like. I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Velvet Underground cover, but all pizza themed. They changed the lyrics to be themed around pizzas.
Oh my god. I gotta look that up real quick before we get out.
I don't know if this is true.
It
That
is
sounds
true.
familiar.
I've seen it
Macaulay
performed.
Culkin Pizza Band. Not the weirdest thing I've searched today. The Pizza Underground. The Pizza Underground was an American comedy rock band based in New York City, mainly parodying songs of the Velvet Underground with pizza-themed song names. And, Macaulay Culkin and a whole bunch of other guys. I gotta look that shit up. I watched some concert footage, some recent concert footage of Mac Sabbath, the
yeah,
McDonald's characters doing Black Sabbath. It's so good, except the singer sucks. It's like the band is so spot on, and their costumes are so spot on, and everything about their shtick. But it's like, just get a decent singer. But,
heard that.
I mean, Ronald McFondle, it doesn't do it for you.
Have you heard them, John Mark? It could have just been he was having a bad night, but it was like, come on, it's not that hard to sing Ozzy Osbourne songs. Ozzy Osbourne is not a great singer.
I've heard little bits and pieces, but I haven't really you know what I mean.
How hard is it to go? Generals gather in their masses, but he
sure they'd be fun live.
Doesn't sing it right. But yeah, everything else about it is fucking incredible. The outfits, especially, like, that is a brilliant concept. But if they had they had a little bit better singer, and the lyrics are fucking great. Anywho, well, let's get on out of here. Triffin, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Have a happy Christmas and a happy holidays to you all. I do believe this might be. I don't know that it'll be the last show of the year, but it'll be the last show. The reason I wanted to stagger it is because we had to miss a week, and I thought, well, why don't we just put up a Christmas show, even though this has nothing to do with Christmas.
We talked about Macaulay Culkin and Home Alone.
Yeah,
man.
There you go. Christmas theme. Boom. And
talked about the kids in the UK just wishing they had dads for Christmas.
This is starting to feel more and more like Christmas.
It's a dark Christmas.
Where's Dad? This does feel like Christmas. Well, it was funny. I went to see a little Christmas pageant with one of Sarah's girls, the older one, and she's what? It's grade school. They're little kids, but school, you can't do Christmas songs anymore. You can't do anything. It's got to be non-denominational, and so. But the funny thing is, there are plenty of non-denominational Christmas classics like Jingle Bells or Night Before Christmas, that sort of thing. Partridge in a Pear Tree, blah, blah, blah. But these were songs no one had ever heard before, and I shit you not, the program, Sarah and I were laughing so hard. Like, the first song was called Snow. The second song was called It's Snowing. The third one was like, let's have a snowball fight or something, and the last one was literally snow, 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 snow. And it was just like nothing but these unfamiliar tunes. And kids singing. The last one was legitimately, it was like this new age, almost like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, like boom, boom, pinching, boom, boom, pinching, boom, boom, pinching, boom, boom, or not them, Mannheim Steamroller, that weird new agey keyboard that sounds outdated 20 years ago, but it's just like boom, pinching, boom, pinching, boom, pinching, boom, bang, snow, boom, pinching, snow, 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 boom, pinching, boom, pinching, boom, snow, 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 pinching, boom, pinching, boom. That's it. That's all it was. And they all like move their hands up at the very end. They literally say snow, 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 and then throw their hands up in the air. I'm like, Jesus Christ. We're in weird fucking times. Like, I get it. You don't want, we're in different times. People are thinking differently about things. And you don't want, I guarantee a lot of people would lose their shit if they made it like a Muslim Christmas or all Jewish. So I get it. Get rid of the denominational part, but again, it was weird that they didn't use all the many songs that are Christmas staples without even really mentioning Christmas. But this is snow, snow, snow. Everyone was just looking around at each other like, what the fuck is any of this? I'm sick. I don't think any of us ever need to hear Jingle Bells again for the rest of our lives, but we're all kind of waiting for it, and it just never comes. It's so surreal. I was like, I'm wishing that I had dosed some mushrooms before this, because this is already a good time, but it would have it next level. Anyway, all right, let's get on out of here. Have a happy holidays, y'all, non-denominational or not. And if we do squeeze one in before the new year, great. If not, we'll see you in 2023, which sure sounds like the future. Night, y'all.
It is.
Night, guys.
Future.
Night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Boom chim patching, boom chim patching, boom chim patching, boom chim patching, boom chim
No.
patching, boom chim patching, boom chim patching, boom chim patching. Meow, 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 meow.
Chill. Chill.
All right, good night.
Bye. Chill.
Microscopic thread-like worms in the scrotum. Whoever just left, I don't blame you.